QuickBooks Online Advanced has an awesome feature called Batch Transactions. In this video, I am going to show you how to save time by using the Batch Transactions method. In an earlier video, I showed you how to import multiple invoices at once. I'm going to show you another way to enter invoices that I prefer over the Import Invoice feature, because I feel that you have more control of the import, along with that there are more fields available. In a nutshell, this valuable tool allows users with high data entry requirements to skip or at least minimize the repetitive manual entry of transactions. Let's show how batch transactions work. Go to New, select Batch Transactions, choose Transaction Type. Currently, you can batch create invoices, bank deposits, sales receipts, checks, expenses, and bills. New transaction types and data fields are in the pipeline, such as attachments, price rules, multi-currency, discounts, and bundles. You can batch enter several types of transactions. With invoices, you can create, modify, or delete transactions in batch. Click on the gear icon next to Options. Here you can customize what you see, along with adding, deleting, or moving columns the way that you want. The check marks that are grayed out are required fields. With invoices, you can import a CSV file. I'm going to show you how to import the same sample file that I used in the Import Invoice demonstration. Select Import CSV. As you can see, the Import Invoice box looks almost identical to the Import Invoice box in the previous video. Choose Browse to add the sample file. I'm going to use the same sample file as before. I've attached the sample file in the description section for you to use as a reference. Click Open. Checkmark Add New Customers to QuickBooks if applicable. Click Next. Map your fields like we did in Import Invoices. You choose the invoice date format on the spreadsheet. Choose Next once you've completed the mapping process. Now let's click Save. I get a message that says, "Nicely done, you created 4 invoices." You can click on the Invoices link to take you to the sales screen, or click OK to go back to the Batch Transaction screen. I like the Batch Transaction feature because you can see the effect of your import and make any changes needed before you import into QuickBooks. Next, I will show you how to create an invoice using the Batch Transaction feature, duplicating the invoice for multiple customers, then adjusting the individual invoices. Select Create in the action box to generate some invoices. Let's set the customer to Amy's Bird Sanctuary. The default settings from that customer record will populate. Set the product service to landscape, gardening. Enter the quantity to 4 hours and the rate at $85 an hour. Scroll to the right to see the totals. To add additional lines or fields, select the product service field and then the plus icon. You can also select the menu button with the 3 vertical dots and then select the new line item. Select any field on the invoice you want to send to multiple customers. Then select the menu button, the 3 vertical dots. Select Duplicate Invoice for multiple customers. In the window, select the customers you want to send the invoice to. Select Next. Invoices for each customer appears as rows in the Multiple Invoices window. You can edit them individually if you need to. When you're finished, select Save or Save and Send. Duplicating an invoice copies everything, including line items. However, if you've already set up any customer-specific terms or tax preferences, QuickBooks applies them to the invoice for that customer. Batch transactions can also batch modify and batch delete invoices. Batch modify can be used to save a lot of time when it comes to adding additional fields, such as add a memo to a range of existing invoices. Under Invoice, select Modify. Choose your invoices you want to modify. Let's go to Option and add the memo field. I will add Test to each memo field. I know, real creative mind I have. If you need to reclassify or move multiple transactions at once, you can click on this button here. I will go through the steps to reclassify in another video. Once you're finished, choose Save or Save and Print. If everything went well, you will get confirmation that the invoices were edited. Click OK. This takes you back to the dashboard. Next, let me show you how to delete multiple invoices. We'll select New, select Batch Transactions, choose Transaction Type Invoices. Under Actions, select Delete. You can filter by date and specific fields. I'm going to delete the invoices we recently imported. A pop-up with a warning message will appear asking if you're sure you want to delete. Choose Yes. A confirmation screen appears stating that the invoices have now been deleted. Click OK, and that will take us back to the dashboard. As I mentioned before, you can batch enter bank deposits, sales receipts, checks, expenses, and bills. One of my favorite personal features of batch transaction is that you can copy and paste from your Excel spreadsheet. There are some limitations that QuickBooks needs to fix to make this a seamless process. To give you an example, let's go back to our sample spreadsheet. Select New, select Batch Transactions, select Transaction Type Invoices. Under Action, select Create. We can customize the batch transaction spreadsheet to match our sample spreadsheet. We can add any columns, uncheck any columns, and move the columns to match your spreadsheet. Once you're finished, select Apply. Anything highlighted with red are fields that didn't import. The date fields didn't paste because anything with a date must be in a specific format. QuickBooks needs to add a way for you to choose your date format like they do with the import function. We need to choose the tax rate to be applied to each invoice. You will follow the same steps for bank deposits, sales receipts, checks, expenses, and bills. Batch transactions is a huge time saver that only Advanced offers from the QuickBooks Online offering. Now that you know the benefits and limitations, you can decide how batch transactions will work for your business. And again, as always, thank you so much for watching my video.
Thanks for watching my video on QuickBooks Online Advanced. For me to keep making more videos to show you how to get the most from QuickBooks, please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified when these new videos are made. Thanks again.